Hi, my name's Lynn Bob, and I live in Seattle with my husband Dave. My darling 9-year-old granddaughter just lives 9 blocks away, and I get to see her often. She's like the joy of my life. But another joy is being a disciple of Jesus Christ, and that's part of why it was so fun to write this lesson. So who I am, I'm a writer. I've written a bunch of books. I'm a Presbyterian minister. I served 2 congregations in associate pastor roles, and I'm an adjunct professor. And I got to teach in New Zealand for 10 years. So that was one of the huge joys of my life, was being there. So I'm delighted to be with you in this series. You may remember that after the resurrection, Jesus told the women to relay to the disciples that he wanted to meet them in Galilee. And he met them in Galilee. And in the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus's very last words to his disciples were those words that we call the Great Commission. And that's what this lesson is about, teasing apart the various components of the Great Commission. Of course, the core commandment in the Great Commission is make disciples. And writing this material really made me think about over the course of my life, what did disciples mean to me? What did it mean to make disciples at various parts of my life? So I'm not going to name the various church traditions that I was involved in where these things happened, but I'm going to say that in my childhood and teen years, there was a lot of talk about disciples at church, but it was all about those 12 disciples who followed Jesus. There was really not any talk about us being disciples or making disciples. Then, as a young adult, while I was still college age and then into my 20s, I was in a completely different church tradition. And there was lots of talk about making disciples, and it was all equivalent to evangelism. And I remember even then thinking, whoa, wait a minute. There's more to being a disciple than saying, Jesus, I want to follow you, or Jesus, I need you, or Jesus, I'm going to be a Christian now. There's way more to being a disciple than that one moment of conversion that we talk about. And that's what I really wanted to explore in this lesson. What does it mean to be a disciple? And what does it mean to make disciples? And are most of us already making disciples? Well, I would answer that question, yes. Most of us already are participating in the making of disciples simply by being a part of a church community and trying to serve within that community. So this lesson is not about learn how to go out on the streets and share the gospel with strangers who you don't even know and help them become Christians. Now, some of you may be called to do that, and that would be great, but I'm certainly not called to do that. And my struggle and challenge and growth throughout my whole adult life has been, what does it mean for me to be a disciple? And what does it mean for me to participate in the work of the church to make disciples? So this particular lesson has 6 parts to it, and I want to read you those parts. The first part is live like a disciple. So of course you got to figure out what that means. Then go, or as you go. Third part is be a witness. So there again, we think about the difference between being a witness and being an evangelist. That's a key question in my mind. Fourth topic is baptize. 5th is teach and learn about Jesus. This, of course, is my favorite as a writer and minister and professor. And then 6th, pressed in Jesus's presence always, because you'll remember those words at the end of the Great Commission. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. So I'm really hoping that this lesson will be an exploration in what does it mean to be a disciple, what does it mean to make disciples, with joy, with enthusiasm, with comfort, not any kind of pressure, but really exploring the role of disciple making in a whole range of activities in the church.